All right, what's up, guys? Mike Boston Card Exchange. This is part 4. If you've been watching through the rest of it, this is the last monster box in a collection that has thousands of autographs. So there's been 3 other videos so far. This is the 4th one. This is the last monster box. This is mostly in-person autographs. So we're gonna be going through this. We got these 3 rows left. So let's get into it. Yeah, man. This again for those of you who have not been watching. This guy had a massive autograph collection, like thousands in here. Most of the other boxes were like pack pulled autographs. These ones are all in person. I don't know if he got them personally in person, every single one. He could have. Although, man, this is a lot of autographs. If anybody had this much time to get all these, I mean, it would take years, but I guess you could. But man, there's just so many here. I would think he had to buy a good amount of these, but who knows? Who knows? One of the things his family did say about him was that he was he was a Pawtucket AAA Red Sox season ticket holder, and that's how he got a lot of these autographs. But I'm looking at a lot of these too, and they're major league signatures. They're on major league cards, so like it's not like all these guys are just like going back to the minors and available for when they're coming through road games and guys just like had cards on hand. I think that's would be kind of a stretch. Like Dan Herron, that's really cool. So yeah, I don't know how he acquired this many, but it's a very impressive, very cool collection to look through. But yeah, there's just so many. And kind of like what I was saying in the last video, like this, it's a hard thing to price out. You don't see this every day, where someone comes in and just like throws down on the table a box that has a couple thousand hand signed autographs, especially when you put it into the context of I have a smaller lots being used or seldom larger ones, of cards that are from packs, so authenticated and in better condition than these, and I'm having trouble selling that, getting any offers when I'm asking $1 a piece. So when you start there and you try to think about, all right, there's more of this, and they're not from products, and they're conditions less. There's just like a lot of there's a lot of things that would, when you start to think about the price, that would knock it down, and you start to wonder like if that thing's not getting $1, and maybe it's really worth 50 cents a piece per card, what would these be worth? So you start thinking, are they worth 25 cents? Are they worth 10 cents? Maybe they're worth 50, and just the other one's not getting good visibility on eBay. I don't know. It seems to be getting enough views, but yeah, those are the questions that you think of when you see this, when you're just like, hey, look, these are a lot of random major leaguers. Who is the buyer? What would that buyer be willing to pay? But still very cool collection, and they found me to maximize it, and that's what I'm going to do. So one way or another, we're going to get the most out of this that we possibly can. This is just a bunch of card sleeves. Yes, Gary Gaddis, Luis Garcia. That's cool. I think he's still... I have his first Bowman Chrome autograph. This is an on-card first Bowman autograph, but I have the Tyler Glasnow. I mean, just on a big-ass contract. But this is another thing, guys. Like, you might think, oh man, Tyler Glasnow, he's got to be worth a ton of money. Like, he just signed a huge contract for the Dodgers, I think. I have an out of 20 patch auto of his from Topps, and it's like out of 20, and I think it might not be worth like $15 or $20. Like these, you would think a guy of that stature would be worth, like look there, here we go, Goose Gossage review. Is that Johnny Gomes? Be worth a ton of money, but autographs, they can't. A lot of it's demand. Excuse me, a huge amount. Look at that Nomar, man. Love this. I might have to ask him for one of these. Like, you know what? Like give me that one. That one's so cool. Maybe I'll make a lot of the Nomars. Tom Glavine, here we go. I think this one's his rookie right here, and this is also 88. That's cool. Good eye on this collector to get those autographs on the rookie cards. Still doubt it's worth more than $20, but worth looking up for sure. But yeah, they're just, who's I talking about? Was I talking about Tyler Glasnow, and like how a lot of these cards, just you would think that they'd be worth more than they are, but they're just not. The demand for a lot of these guys is not there. All right, let's keep moving. There's so much of this. My neck is gonna hurt so bad after this. Just like leaning over into this is not comfortable. Bill Spaceman Lee, dude, he signs a lot. See his autographs everywhere. Fred Lynn, that is a cool one. That is a very cool one. That's awesome. These are so cool. There's another Bill Lee. There's a lot of Bill Lees, like I said. Gary Guy, Eddie Eric, Hayes Haas, Jason LaRue. Don't know these guys. Francisco Liriano, man, he was real good for a while. I'm gonna look it up, but I'm expecting to be a couple bucks. Dave LaRoche, nice. Doug Linton. This guy was a coach when I was in Colorado. When I was in Colorado Springs, very nice guy. Talked to him a lot of times. Tony LaRusso, that's nice. But yeah, he was really cool. So like one of my favorite things to do when I was the PR intern was go and interview these guys and kind of like pick their brains on scouting and stuff. Cause like for me, I always wanted to work in front office, but yeah, Doug Linton was a guy who was just like really very approachable, very fun to talk to. I will say in contrast to one of the other coaches that I'm not going to name, that wasn't my favorite. I forget who the manager was. He was awesome too. God, my brain's fried. That's not why I'm not remembering the manager, but there's a different coach where I was like, this guy sucks, but not the manager. Forgetting his name. If he ever hears about this, he was very cool. Doug Linton was very cool. There's a different coach. I might just like ask. I don't need the autograph. I'll be fine. I met the guy. I got to interview him a couple times. So he was very cool. So I don't need to like save an autograph from it. But did Dave LaRoche? He was Dan LaRoche. There's another guy that like came through that was it might have been Dan LaRoche who came through on one of the other teams. Javier Lopez, it's nice. Cliff Lee, we're checking out. Derek Lowe. So this pause here because like that's a Red Sox guy. Like he had some big wins in that 04 run. He was like a real big player for us. But I doubt his Francisco Lindor. That's nice. So I doubt Derek Lowe's autograph is worth much, but to me that's a very cool one. Let's keep going. Eric Hansen, man, look at these names. Dave Hollins, just like Aubrey Huff, man. These guys had like nice careers, but I don't know who's looking for Aubrey Huff cards. Like who's out there like just dying to have an Aubrey Huff card that doesn't have 1,000 of them to choose from. Kaz Matsui, nice. Rich Hill, is he still playing? He played last year, I think. I shouldn't even pull that out. That's probably worth like $2. That's a cool one. See, that's when you want to pull out. That's the kind of stuff you wait for. But I mean, who knows what Halliday's worth, man? This is a in-person auto. You'd probably want to get it, PSA DNA certified, but that costs money and takes time. But Roy Halladay's a name, man. We'll make sure we look that one up. Casey Kelly, look at these. Look at these names. Ryan Kalish, dude. Ryan Kolesko. John Lester, that's a cool one. There he was. I missed him that whole time. John Lester was peeking out. A couple John Lesters. What we got here. That could be a good one. He had a very, very good career. All right, I got 3 of them. That's nice. Jeremy Hazelbaker. I have no idea who that is. Someone to bet those John. Dude, look at that. Right, it's like a pre-rookie card, but any kind of rookie card sign is nice. But like, yeah, the Lester one. Tim Hudson, that's nice. Aaron Hill. Those probably were just like at the game in Pawtucket, And he was like, hey, this guy's a good prospect. Let me get a couple autos of him. Like, great idea, man. Don't know what those go for, but pair up a couple of them. Probably do all right. Dan Herron, man, he's had a good career. Jerry Hairston. Yeah, these can be surprisingly hard to move. I remember I was visiting a friend in Miami a couple years ago, and just for kind of like, just for fun, I brought down a bunch of just Florida, Miami area autographs just to see what I could get from guys that were running the shops down in Florida, and every single guy passed. Like, I called a few places, I visited a few places, and I was like, yo, hey, I got like 50, maybe it wasn't that many, but it was like 30, 40, 50, we'll say. Oh, Tito, what up? Miami autographs, whether it's like the Dolphins or Miami guys that were like, signed a college card and were in the NFL or, the Heat or anything like that. And I was even just trying to get like $1 or $2 out of them, and like every single guy to a man passed on it. I'm like, I'm not surprised. Like, they are hard to sell. These kinds of things are hard to sell, but you usually can find a buyer. It's just like it's hard. But like that's the other thing when everyone talks about like how much is this worth? How much is this worth? I'm like it's not so much like what is the exact number. I can give you a range, and then the challenge is going to be finding a buyer within that range. Like I can tell you what it's sold for in the past. Oftentimes this was harder to do. This was very hard to do because I could not find any, good comps for this. But yeah, man, it's just like you can take a guess at it, but at the end of the day, look at that chipper on a rookie. That's a nice one. It's about finding a buyer, and they're not easy to find buyers for. That chipper is interesting though, because that's on a rookie card. So is that another Fred Lane? Dude, that's so nice. I could see those locally doing kind of well. That'd be interesting to try. But locally doing well might mean like $5 for what's his face for Fred Lane. Man, Mike Lowell. He was one of the guys I brought down because he used to play for the Marlins. He was in that batch of cards I was just trying to sell to those. Whatever, I'll take out the Cliff Lees. I want to sign on to those like Miami area guys. He's got a lot of Cliff Lee. He's got a lot of Ted Lilly too, man. Ted Lilly was good. Jed Lowry, there we go. Lowell spinners. It's a sick. I mean, it's whatever. I just want to know. Francisco, Tom Foley, Matt Franco. That Chipper Jones. Who is this? Mark Fidrick. Okay. That Chipper Jones card. Chipper does well when he's authenticated. So like, I have like a non-rookie. I mean, like today it'd probably be considered a rookie, but like in the 90s, the rookie cards were like the very first card, kind of like what the first Bowman would be today. And the rookie year card was no longer a rookie card. It was just a random card now. But like today they consider it to be a rookie card. But the rules were a bit different in the 90s. But like I have a rookie year, not rookie card, but like rookie year, Chipper Jones auto, and that authenticated by PSA. I'm probably gonna get like $50-$60 for it. So I would imagine, if you can authenticate that Chipper Jones on a rookie card, I would like to think maybe you get 100 for it. Like that's a nice little bump you would get. Oh, ooh, see, this is what you wait for. This is why you do this, guys, for stuff like this. So like I don't know what Jeter goes for, but I'm talking right now about like, Chipper Jones maybe getting $100. This is why you search through this stuff. Like Jeter, as Derek Jeter, there are two guys in the 90s you're looking for. It's Ken Griffey Jr. and then it's this guy Derek Jeter, the captain. I hate the Yankees. I'm a well brought up Massachusetts Boston boy, but you have to respect Derek Jeter for what he accomplished and the way he played the game and all that stuff. But this is why you look through all this stuff and why you have fun doing it, because you're trying to find and pull out stuff like this. So this, we definitely got to send a PSA and get authenticated. This is gorgeous. Wish he had the Major League uniform on, which this was his 93 Topps card, but like we can settle for a rookie year. Yeah, 93, because 93 Topps is rookie. We can settle for, we'll call it a rookie auto right here. Even if it's classic best, we can do very, very well on this. That's a great find. That's a great hit. I hope he's got more Jeters in here. I think one of the funnier things about this collection, not just what was in it, but what was not in it. So I mentioned, I think in the first video, that the guy he just had like sets, or he had like partial sets, but like he had lots of cards dating back from even like the late 60s. And what was most interesting about it to me was in those sets, what was not the cards that were pulled out, not included. So they had like a lot of like mostly complete partial sets, and all like the really, really big hits were not in there. When I talked to the family, like, yeah, it's fine if I wasn't the first person, like I don't really care, but if I in fact was, like they said, dude, two more Jeters. Look at this. What year is that Jeter? 94. Dude, look at that. Two more Jeters. That's amazing. That is amazing. That's why you do this. That's what makes it so fun, is like finding things like that, finding a Derek Jeter autograph in here. That's incredible. But yeah, what was not in the collection was really surprising, because like when I'm going through this 68 set, There's no Nolan Ryan rookie card. There's no Johnny Bench rookie card, and there's no Mickey Mantle card, which was pretty surprising. Reggie Jackson, man. See, we're getting some. There's some finds in here. There's dude, another chipper. There's some gems in here, man. This is turning into actually like a pretty nice set to look through. This is some nice stuff. So the it was a bit surprising. And then we were going through the basketball. We found like one Michael Jordan card in the entire basketball collection, and then in the football collection, we found like one Tom Brady card in the entire thing. And it was just surprising. Like, it's not. I mean, like when I was talking to the family, we were kind of all going through it together. They were a bit surprised too. I was like, yeah, guys, you know, if you see them, let me know. If they're not in there, no big deal. There's still plenty of good stuff in here. I'm still very happy to, you know, do all this, and there's gonna be plenty of money to be made for everybody. But it was very surprising what was not in there, and just like makes you wonder. Maybe he never had it. Maybe there's a reason he never had it, or you know what could have happened to it. I don't want to start saying someone took it out without, you know, permission, or you know, without telling anybody. I have no idea. But that is kind of surprising, like who wasn't in that collection. But yeah, then this box turned into a much better box than I thought it was going to be. Getting at Reggie Jackson and those three Derek Jeters now, that's a big deal. That is a big deal. Look at that Hanley Ramirez, man. I mean, he might be $10, but now I'm just excited because I'm seeing all these cool cards. All these, dude, Jim Rice. Look at that. Manny Ramirez, man. There we go. And I think that's his rookie card. Like, I could see Manny going for $5. I could see him going for 20, but a rookie card always adds something nice. He's one of those guys that, you know, if it wasn't for the roids, man, the end of his career he would have done something, or he'd probably be a Hall of Famer. But man, guy was just like an incredible hitter. I remember when we signed him on free agency, that Justin Morneau, man, he was excellent too. We signed Manny Ramirez on free agency from the Cleveland Indians, because like for a few years before that, we would play the Indians in the playoffs, like it felt like every year, and it would be back-to-back Manny Ramirez and Jim Thome, and it felt like every time we played them, he would smoke us, and it was like agonizing. We'd just be cruising through the lineup, and all of a sudden Manny Ramirez is up. He's going to smoke a double into the gap, and then Jim Thome's going to hit a two-run homer. Or Manny's going to pelt one himself. Like, it was insane. Those Indian teams in the mid-90s were really, really good. But yeah, man, it was awesome. Like, a lot of people around Boston hated Manny. Man, Jose Reyes, it's a cool one. Oh, it's a rookie card, nice. A lot of people in the Boston area were not Manny Ramirez fans. My grandpa hated Manny Ramirez, but I loved him. I thought he was amazing. And you know what? He was an excellent player. Oh man, I'm gonna have to go through and count these next. that I don't want to do. I do not want to have to go through. I don't know. We have a relative idea of I'm gonna have to count them. It's gonna be a pain in the ass, but whatever. Part of the job, part of the gig, y'all. Jose Hoffman, Tomooka. These guys, these names. Jim Palmer, great find. Sure, select. Another Tomooka, Bob Ojeda. Dude, how much are these actually gonna go for? Man, dude, these names in here. Oh my god, I haven't heard these guys in years. Wow, Larry Parrish, that's good. Oh, Max Packian, the clown prince of baseball. No idea what that goes for, but whatever. We'll find out, I guess. Trevor Plouffe. Rico Petrocelli. Papelbon, that's nice. Those are cool, man. That is sick. Don't know what he goes for, but like Red Sox closer, man. Loved him. Jim Palmer again. Wish that 72 is in better shape, but Silver 2 Dustin Pedroia. Look at this. MVP's pulling out here. He definitely had. Dude, there's another Pedroia. He definitely had the Boston hookup. This guy, like through Pawtucket. Like he's definitely, like they said, he was going to those games getting these signatures. Man, Dustin Pedroia. Like, I mean, I think he'll be a Hall of Famer. He won an MVP, but you know, after he had that knee injury, his career really got sidetracked, and people remember that kind of stuff. Like, if it doesn't seem fair, because Oh, look at that Jorge Posada. These are nice. Andy Pettit, I'll pull him out too. Johnny Pesky, that's a Red Sox guy. Hell yeah. But like, yeah, Pat Neshek, I might give that to my friend. He played high school ball then. JP, he was good. But yeah, like Pedroia was on track to be a Hall of Famer and then got sidetracked. And you just see that so often when guys have like a huge first half of their career and they're like no doubter Hall of Famers, Nomar or Dale Murphy, guys like that. Dale Murphy won 2 MVPs, guys. He won 2 MVPs and must have like 7 All-Star appearances, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. Like, that's crazy to me. But voters will really punish you based on what that final impression you give them is. And if you could have had 5-10 insane years, but if you had 5-10 really bad ones after that, you really get punished, which doesn't seem fair. And I just wonder if Pedroia is going to fall into the former or the latter when it comes to that. Oh, it's Johnny Pesky. I was like, what signature are these? Is Johnny Pesky's? That's cool. Mel Parnell. And Ed. Who, this isn't anybody. I'll look it up later. Just to be sure, but that's not going to be anybody. All right, let's keep going. But yeah, I hope Pedroia doesn't fall into that, into like that kind of, area where they kind of remember you. They overweight your bad years. I really hope it doesn't happen because like I love Pedroia. He was a huge part of these Boston teams, and I would certainly like to see him get honored in the Hall of Fame. But you never know. Like, who knows what's gonna happen? Let's see. Yeah, it's just crazy to think sometimes that you can be like Dale Murphy and have 2 MVPs. You can win the MVP twice and not be in the Hall of Fame, and some other guys who only have a couple All-Star appearances are in the Hall of Fame. I will say this, I think that definitely Adrian Beltre deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, but if you were to look at like accolades that he received, he might have made 4 All-Star teams. The big one is 3,000 hits. To me, he's a Hall of Famer because he has 3,000 hits, but if you want to talk about like a guy who you could make a very solid case for is in the Hall of Very Good, as opposed to being in the Hall of Fame, Adrian Beltre is a guy. Like, everyone likes to point his WAR numbers, man, but like that guy played for a lot of years and he was elite once or twice, and he did not win an MVP. At least I don't think he did. Maybe he did that year. He had 49 home runs, maybe once, but still, like, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of guys who have like a number of All-Star appearances, were very good for a long time, but never won like an MVP. Were never considered the best in the league, and then you have this guy who was that 2 times and is not in the Hall of Fame. That's crazy to me. So yeah, I don't know how Dale Murphy's not in. People are like, oh, he's like, I mean, they weren't talking about WAR when he was up for election, but they do now, and it's kind of annoying to me. Like, I'm a sabermetrics guy, dude. Like, I got into, I got really into sabermetrics, and that's what got me into like the day job path I'm in now, which is computer programming and economics. Through, look at that, Mark Pryor, that's sick. Through it's Sizemore rookie auto. Like Moneyball, reading that book was like really influential on me, and that got me into computer programming, economics, all that stuff. But like, even then, I just don't like how it somewhat gets overemphasized, and we kind of forget that this game is supposed to be. That's a card. Sorry, I'm gonna finish up what I was gonna say, and then I'll talk about Mariano. We sometimes forget how this game is supposed to be exciting. It's not supposed to feel like a computer exercise, which is sometimes what people do. So that's kind of the thing. I'm going to wrap up on the WAR conversation with the Hall of Fame. I think metrics like that sometimes are given a little bit too much importance, and I don't like that. But anyway, this is a big deal. So this card, raw, this is in nice condition. The coloring looks a bit off. And I don't think we want to grade it because it's a little bit OC left to right, and it might have a little bit of rotation. This is probably an 8, but this card is maybe like a $50 or $100 card by itself. This is Mariano's, I think, his only rookie card, and this one's autographed. This is a huge deal. This one might want to get sent in, graded, and authenticated, and all that. That's a big find. Man, that could be even bigger than the Jeter cards. That's crazy. Man, Trot Nixon. I was a big fan of Trot. I have a bunch of his autographs too. But man, he's a big player for the Red Sox. Daniel Nava. Man, there's a lot of Trot. I guess Trot signed a lot because I had a few of his too. But man, this guy's just got so much stuff. Pat Neshek again. All right, I'm pulling this one. I'll tell the guy who can sign it. I'm gonna give that to him. I'm gonna buy it to give it to a friend. But yeah, I have a friend who, like I said just a few minutes ago, I have a friend who played with him in high school, so it'd be kind of fun to send that his way, or one of my other friends that knew him. Alfonso Soriano, that's cool. I don't think this is a rookie card they usually say, but it's still a very cool one. There's another Soriano. Man, there's just stuff all over the place in here. There's another Alfonso Soriano. There's another Alfonso Soriano. Another one. Man, there's a lot of these. See, that's good because you really want to sell these as a lot. Especially if you're thinking maybe you're gonna get like $10. Kurt Schilling, that one's really kind of faded. But Schilling, man, this stuff his company and his political positions after his career. I mean, I won't even say political positions, but just like his, we'll say the time he spent in the public eye after his career, or like what he did in the public eye after his career, especially with his video game company, really hurt his opinion among a lot of collectors in the hobby. He was borderline Hall of Famer. I mean, it doesn't affect how you were on the field, of course, after you play, but it really affects people's opinion of you. And you saw that happen with him. Oh, Remdog. That's a nice one. We're going to pull these. Oh, that's a Remdog rookie, man. That's nice. We'll pull those ones out. That is so cool. If you're not from the Boston area, huge announcer. He just passed. But man, he ruled the airwaves on Nesson for a long time. It had to be decades, multiple decades, as the voice of the Boston Red Sox. Man, he was so much fun to hear on the broadcast. That's why he held the position so long. But yeah, Jerry Remy, he was incredible, man. He kept the game so fun. Is that Pat Burrell? Scott Rowland. Whew. Those are nice. I think I might have gotten Scott Rowland and Pat Burrell confused earlier. Scott Rowland is the Hall of Famer. Excuse me, guys. Not Pat Burrell. Yeah, Scott Rowland's another one of those guys, but I always get Rowland and Burrell confused because they both played on the Phillies and the Cardinals. They're both played third base and they look similar, so I'll take a mulligan on that one. Give myself the out. There's nice smolts. Man, look at these. These are just so cool. Shane Spencer, man, he had a huge moment back in the day. Is this like... No, this would be a couple years later. It could be. Like, this is a different parallel than usual you see on these prospects, but I remember thinking of a different year. It's usually like silver or bronze color, but this might just be a gold, or it could be a different year. But like, he had, a really big, like, September for the Yankees in the 90s, and, was kind of like a hobby darling for a very quick hot minute, and then kind of faded away. But he's a fun name to see. So Ramiro Mendoza, Bob Marker. Man, these guys, look at these names. Justin Masterson, man, he was a big Red Sox prospect. Didn't do a whole lot, but he was still a good pitcher. Lou Merlone, man, we've seen a few of him already, but fun player to see. All right, we keep going. This pile that I've got now is getting kind of good, so we're definitely pulling some good stuff. I mean, those rookie autos we've been pulling are really the big ones. Man, Ryan Madsen, Mark Miller, look at these guys. But Andrew McCutchen, dude, hell yeah, we want Andrew McCutchen on a rookie card, dude. See, I feel like he got like really savvy at some points. I don't know who signed this ticket. I'll look that up later. I feel like he got really savvy. Carlos Correa, what up? Oh, it's just a rookie card. Okay, well, too bad it's not autographed. Sorry, I keep interrupting myself. I feel like he got very savvy. I want to say towards the end. I don't know when these were getting signed, but you definitely see a lot of rookie autographs, and rookie autographs definitely go for a premium. So like it's really really nice to see some of these, like getting Mariano Rivera on that rookie card versus any other card. That's a very big deal. Like that is excellent to see. So Thomas Sorda, man, that's cool. Look him up. Yeah, man, look at all these. Phil Hughes, he was a huge prospect too. Make sure this stays in focus. Try to keep it in the middle of the shot. Jerry Hairston, Joe Hudson, Matt Holliday. That's a cool one. Probably not worth a ton, but yo, Fergie Jenkins is a Hall of Famer. Again, probably not worth a ton because it's a in-person auto. So I think the Fergie Jenkins like product autos, like, you know, pack pulled, are probably like $15-20. So something done this way is probably gonna be, I don't know, what, half of that? I have no idea, but not a whole lot, I guess is what I'm saying. But worth looking up and making sure. And then selling a quarter. Look at that Tito, man. I don't think Tito's worth more than a couple bucks this way, but I'm gonna pull him out anyway because I'm a huge Tito fan. Red Sox, baby. Alright, we keep going. This is a monster box, guys. I know it's called a monster box. This is a monster box. Ryan Sweeney, Scott Strickland. Who are these guys? Jason Schmidt. He was good, man. Schmidt made a couple All-Star teams. Aaron Seeley. I'm going to take out one Schmidt just to check and make sure we're not missing something on him. But I'm pretty sure he's going to be a couple bucks. And probably not worth breaking out on his own. Signs, Bill Selby, Dave Segui, Matt Stairs, man, Chris Smith. Look at these names. Man, I would love to hit another. Hitting those Jeters is really cool. That's the highlight, the Jeters and that Mariano so far. The highlight's Marco Scutero. I would just like love to hit like a surprise like that. Dude, that's why you do this. Like for hits like that, for like, I hate saying, oh, moments like this, but like that's why you do it. When you get to go through and like, oh my god, like look what we just found. Like those are the best, man. I love hitting stuff like that. It'll be a fun phone call later when I hit up our client and be like, bro, we gotta send a couple more to PSA. Hooray for us. Found some Jeters and found a huge Mariano Rivera. That will be very, very fun. This would be very, very fun cards to send in. Justin Turner, man, look at these guys. Turner's still. Yeah, let's see what's going on with Justin Turner. He's got that fun red head, that fun red hair. He's got a bit of a following. He's still a good player. Louis Tiant, man. Ooh, that's an early one. Oh, maybe not. Louis Tiant was around forever. Jim Thome, there we go. That's a fun one. Again, in-person auto, not the same, but Jim Thome is still an all-time power hitter. He's incredible. Man, now Tim Wakefield, hell yeah. R.I.P. Man, now I just wish now I'm like, no, I wish I bought this thing outright. There's just so many cool things in here. I wish we just had all of myself. Whatever. Too late. I mean, I feel like I got a very good deal out of this. A very profitable one for me. We get to split the stuff we pull out here 50-50. How could I possibly complain about that? Boo-hoo to me. Boo-hoo. Cry about it. I did amazing. We both did very, very well. Lee Smith. There's another Shane Spencer. Man, this is just such... Dude, when do you see this many autographs in one collection? Like, this is incredible. Bob Stanley. Sorry, these are all upside down. It's just how they're coming out. Bob Stanley, Tanian Sturts, Bobby Scales, Ray Sanchez, John Stearns, Bob Stanley, Calvin Schiraldi, Chris Strube, Lee Tinsley, Miguel Tejera, not Tejada, Tejera, Schultz. Man, look at these. Tarasco. I can't tell if I'm having more fun on this box than the other boxes. This one's just exceeding expectations. Just on hitting one Jeter would have exceeded my expectations. You would have thought he would have been in his own, like, screw down that they loved in the 90s, but what is this? I don't know who these are. Something Hoyt. I don't know. Look him up. But yeah, that one Jeter alone is exceeding expectations, and then you pull out, three of them and get Mariano and get all these other Hall of Famers. Man, I would have thought those would be in the other boxes, but I guess his box was just for he did organize this part well, just for in-person autographs. So it makes a little bit more sense, I suppose. But you would have thought those would be in, protective holders. Like, why he bought this one, but I'm like, why are some of these guys in the cases they're in versus other players? Man, Chase Utley, he was good. That's a rookie card. Yeah, that's worth it. Kevin Youkilis, man. We had to pull out a few use. Tula's not gonna be worth anything, but he did a rehab stint. Look at all these Youkilises, man. Tula did have a rehab stint when I was in Colorado, so that'll be fun, man. That place got packed the day Troy Tulowitzki was there. Like, man, Christian Vasquez is cool. We'd have pretty good attendance in general. But man, when you had a star like that come down for rehab assignment, like, that place would get packed. Like, he was there once. I think Houston Street was there that year too, and he was their closer. For people that don't know who Houston Street is, but he was a very, very big name around that time. This is Carl Yastrzemski. That's not Yaz. All right, I have to look that one up because it doesn't. I'll look that one up. That doesn't look like Yaz to me, but if it is Yaz, we need to know. How much does that even go for if that's Yaz? Dontrell Willis, man. Fernando Vina, Shane Victorino. David Wright, man. He was an almost. He almost had a massive, massive career. I'm curious. I don't think he's gonna be much, but I'm curious to just know what he would go for. He was one of those guys that was one of the best players in baseball. Not that fantasy draft position is the be all end all, but always a first round pick in fantasy. I had him a couple of times, second round pick, and he was one of the best players in baseball. And I think he got beaned or something like that, and was just never really the same after that happened. Or maybe it wasn't that. I don't know. One year he went from this happens to guys sometimes. One year he went from 30 home runs down to 10, and never was quite the same. I mean, he kind of recovered the power again later, but was never quite the same hitter where he's hitting 30, 35 home runs. And I mean, how many guys are going to hit 30 home runs and bat 320 every year? But you know what I mean? He just wasn't quite the same, and you see that a surprising amount of the time. Yastrzemski, all-time great, but Valentin, he was awesome, great Red Sox player. But Yastrzemski had Veritek. He's great. I'm trying to stay focused on what I'm talking about. I just keep seeing guys that I like Veritek. But Yastrzemski had, I think, 3 out of 4 years where he hit 40 home runs, and the year in between was 68, where that was the year of the pitcher. So you can give him a mulligan on that one, but he only had 20 something that year, but he basically had 4 years of huge power, and then after that, all of a sudden, he went back to being hitting 15 home runs a year. He hit 20 a couple more times, but his power is really concentrated in a couple of years. But you see this sometimes from players where they have a few years where they're just out of their mind hitting 30, 40 home runs, and then for whatever reason, later on they're just not, the power just goes away. And that seemed to kind of happen to David Wright. I mean, he still had a couple of years after where he was hitting a lot of home runs. Same with Yastrzemski. He still had a few years after where he was hitting 20 plus. So he still had good power, but I mean, it's just surprising. Just kind of sometimes just goes away out of nowhere. So yeah, David Wright, amazing player, but kind of one of those guys. This is cool. Ben Sheets, I'm sure he doesn't go for anything, but he, again, another big player from the early to mid 2000s. Another guy I had in fantasy a lot, Ben Sheets. He was a big time strikeout pitcher. Man, Vernon Wells, he was good. Man, getting closer to the end of this. This is a marathon last week. David Wright, there we go. And this is like an XRC. It's like kind of a rookie card. Again, I don't think it's gonna be much, but I'm curious. Jared Saltalamacchia, man, he was a big prospect. He almost pushed Brian McCann off of the Braves. Larry Walker, Hall of Famer, hell yeah. Like a lower tier Hall of Famer, but still. But yeah, Jared Saltalamacchia almost pushed Brian McCann off the Braves. Like, there were a lot of people, when Saltalamacchia was coming up, he was considered a better prospect than McCann. There were a lot of people saying that the Braves should trade Brian McCann so they can try out this guy, Jared Saltalamacchia. It's been like good in the minors, and they definitely made the right decision keeping McCann because he was so good. And dealing Saltalamacchia, and then he went to like the Rangers, and he was with us in the Red Sox for a while. And he was a very good player, but not the level McCann was. We're gonna have to check out those index card autos because they are nice. There's Tim's Vernon Wells. Here we go. Ben Sheets again. That's on a rookie card too. Vernon Wells, Aaron, but okay, there's a signature. It's kind of hard to see. Kind of blends in with the uniform, but man, Jason Worth, he's had a few of those. Walker, Wilson, Neil Walker, Josh Wilson, Walker, blah blah blah. All these guys. Who are you? Maybe it's not so much who are you, but like who's looking for you. Man, all right, some of these guys I'm hitting now, I don't know who they are. I know most of these guys, I'm like, a couple of these, I'm like, who are these guys? Yeah, we're definitely in a section of it where, like, you know, don't know them at all. Man, this is a hell of a collection. This guy loved autographs, man. This guy loved autographs. All right, getting down to it. Only a few left. We can wrap it up. Oh, it might even be less. This is an empty. Aw, bummer. Is that Johan Santana? Man, he's another guy that had a couple of huge years and then, you know, kind of faded out. Very interested. Like, I don't think he's going to be a lot, but Fernando Valenzuela, I'm very interested to know what he would go for. Chase Utley. I compared up with the other Chase Utleys that I pulled out. BJ Upton, he was great for a little while. Martin Prado, is that? Yeah, Martin Prado. Jimmy Rollins, he was really good for a while too. Jeff Reed, Dave Roberts, nice. All right, Cody Ransom, there we go. All right, let's see these index card autos. Looks like Dom DiMaggio. Come on, it'd be cool to see a big name. Carl, I have no idea. Ralph Kiner, maybe. Mark Koenig, Monty Irvin, that one's very clear. There we go. All right, guys, thanks for making it through. Man, a lot of autographs, a lot of stuff I'm going to have to look up. I'm going to have to figure out what to do with a lot of these things, man. But what a cool collection to go through. What an amazing box. Man, there are still thousands and thousands in here. This is amazing. What a cool collection to be able to go through, man. What a privilege. But, yeah, big hits. Let's find them. Somewhere in this mess of autographs down here are the big ones that we pulled out, which are the Jeter and the Mariano. I don't know. There's a huge pile down here, guys. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it out for you right this second, but so y'all can remember what a fun time it was finding these Marianos and Jeters and all these awesome autographs. All right, anyway, forgive me, guys. I'm trying to make piles out of this stuff. Oh, here's the Mariano. We'll just show the Mariano then. A few big hits, man. Very cool stuff. That being potentially the biggest, one of the biggest. Anyway, guys, thanks for making it through. That was a lot of fun. Mike, Boston Card Exchange. We'll do it again. See y'all. Peace.